Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back in Urban Center with a new event of the site. We are really happy to have here as a really interesting host in Urban Center, René Bouteau. It's a friend of the center. CISA is one of the partner of Urban Center, and a new one is a presentation, Matthias Lattner, Open Innovation and Business Development of ASIB. It's a reality of Austria that we'll present later. But I think it's one of the scope of Urban Center to create connection and to give the opportunity to startups and future companies to work and to create the ecosystem, the right ecosystem to increase the knowledge and to arrive to the development. So I give the floor to René, just to a greeting, and then to Matthias, and thank you back to you to be here.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I thank Barbara, as usual. And well, first of all, we are friends, but friends in the professional term of the word. And my greetings to Marco and Matthias, which is the special guest today. With Matthias, we met 3 months ago, 4 months ago, in a call. He comes from Austria and he's part of ASIB. And well, his presence here show very well the importance of this place and Urban Center and the municipality of Trieste, and the fact that Trieste is, we can say, the capital city of this strategic region, which is Alpe Adria. Well, I represent CISA. CISA is one of the partners here in the Friuli Venezia Giulia scientific research net, one of the leading scientific centers among the other university and area science park and so on. And in my presentation later on, I will give some figures and also the reason that moves CISA towards the so-called third mission, which coincides with what Barbara was saying before, the construction of a proactive, efficient, and oriented to value creation innovation ecosystem. But I let the word, the floor to our friend Matthias, okay, and please.
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, thank you for the very nice introduction from both sides. And even when I'm interested only since yesterday evening, I think I have some friends here in Trieste. I'm representing ASIB, the Austrian Center of Industrial Biotechnology. We are a private research center for biotech, but working very close together with several Austrian universities. I'm biotechnologist myself. I worked around 15 years in industry, in production, and then came back to science, to ASIB. And I try to develop new ideas for biotech business cases. And I'm very happy to have a chance to tell a little bit about ASIB and about our BREED program that will start next year. And that's also a kind of incubator later.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, René, as usual, for a great presentation, introduction. And thanks you also, Matthias, because it's really interesting also your professional path, because you are a scientist. You were a scientist, then you came to the industry, and then you came back to the university, so to a research center, but with a different approach. So not only the pure science, but also a more business approach that can live together with with science, that is the base for innovation. So it's something that also people that come here usually are researchers that have an idea and want to understand if they can develop in a business way, or maybe in a more scientific way, or both together. So let me now give you an introduction to Urban Center, this public innovation center that was a project and developed by the municipality of Trieste. So thank you. So the idea is to build a chain of the innovation value environment that maybe was missing here in Trieste. Trieste is something that is really peculiar because it's a scientific city, is the city of science that is known since 2020 with this name, but it's just something that it was well known also before, because it's the home of more than 30 research centers. So we are quite a small cities, 200,000 people with very high numbers of research centers. We have also, for this reason, a high concentration of researchers, because there are 37 every 1,000 workers, and is the highest at least in Italy. And this produces also a high density of innovative startups. So this scientific and innovation chain brings us to be a innovation territory of innovation. We are, as Friuli Venezia Giulia, so the region where Trieste is the capital, we are recognized as a strong innovation, strong innovator, and we try to be an example of the area, not only for Italy, but also for Alpe Adria area. And in 2020, maybe not the luckiest year, we were also the site for ESOF, and the European, we were known as a European City of Science. So Trieste, with it's a small territory, but has all the actors that can help and support the process that an idea needs to do to become a company, and a successful company that can bring the idea, the project idea, to the market. So to help and to solve a real problem. So we have from the research center to the incubator, accelerator, scientific center that can help also for the business, supporting also for the business part of the idea, but also the financial support with insurance and bank, and all the ecosystem, like the School of Management, can help the startupper to become a successful entrepreneur. So this was, I think, something that is not that common, that a municipality decide to requalify a building from something that was disused in an international reference hub for two specific sector. They decide to invest in the territory in the biotech and the high-tech sector. So the urban center is acquired during these 2.5 years the role of international reference. And this is also the results. So as René told, we are in the house of innovation to develop the ecosystem of the territory. Urban center is also a result of the public-private management of an innovation center, because the idea, the building, the project, and also the support comes from the municipality of Trieste, but then the management is private, and it's based on 4 companies that Bio4Dreams is the coordinator. We are private funded incubator in the life science. Then we have Bio Valley Group, that is a local accelerator in the BioTech. Polo Tecnologico Alto Adriatico, it's also an incubator based more to the industrial application. And RMB Gate, that is a company established here in Trieste by the former innovation and research manager of IBM. So the idea of this public-private consortium is to promote innovation, development, in particular the entrepreneurial activities, and also the attitude of a researcher, and to have as here in this floor, the cross-functional contamination. So to put together different actors that can enhance what is the ecosystem of innovation. And we work with almost 50 partners. CISA is one of the first hours partner. And now we have one of the newest partner of Urban Center that can provide with direct contact, and we spoke before with Matthias of the importance of direct contacts and to the possibility to go directly in touch with the right person at the right moment, in order to give the chance to people with an idea, an innovative idea, to become successful. So the building is, the idea of Urban Center is a concrete building. So we have the ground floor, the Fab Lab, and then we will show also to the son of Matthias. That is very interesting because we have this multi-age activity, in particular in the Fab Lab, with from I think 3 years old was the youngest to, I cannot say, but really old person that came to understand what is the innovative technology that are coming and to use them. Then we have the first floor is the functional contamination, where we have functional contamination activities like this with event. And to the second floor that we have now 22 startups settled in the Urban Center. So we are quite active as event. We had more than 200 in almost 2.5 years. Here in the contamination functional floor, and 150 in the Fab Lab. So people came, and also what is very important is that everything is for free. So the municipality decides to give all this ecosystem for free in order to enhance the possibility for the success. We reach almost 14,000 people. It is interesting also to René knows, but maybe for Matthias is something new with the pandemic. How people go through events is different. So we create a library, and also I invite, as every time, people to go through the library of Urban Center. And most of people doesn't come on site or in real time, but later. So the idea is to give a library of the ecosystem, innovative ecosystem of the territory, and to give them the possibility to study, to enhance also their knowledge. So, but this is just a brief introduction, but I think the main and the most interesting part of the Urban Center is now the established startup. And I give the floor to Marco, my colleague, that is the startup manager of the center.
Thank you, Barbara, and welcome again here, Matthias. We're really pleased to have you here because we think that creating a collaboration with ASIB is really of interest for the Urban Center of Trieste. So one of the main focus of the Urban Center is supporting the startups. And now there's 21 startups that are settled in the upper floor. They have their own spaces where they do their work. Interestingly, 14 of the startups that are settled comes from the Friuli Venezia Giulia region, but 5 of them are coming from other regions. And that's because the Friuli Venezia Giulia region has a lot of funding opportunities. So startups from other regions are interested to put an operative site here in Trieste to take advantage of these funds. And 2 startups are coming from Slovenia. And they use the Urban Center as a base for developing their business in Italy. Oh, sorry. These are the 21 startups settled. If you want later, I can go a detailed description of all the startups later, probably. But all the 21 startups are grouped into 2 main areas. One is the BioTech sector, and the other is the digital high-tech sector. But they can be also subgrouped into 5 different thematic sectors. So 6 startups belong to the ambient assisted living or digital health. So they provide a digital solution in the healthcare sector. 1 startups belong to the thematic area of the innovative therapy, biotechnology, and drug development. Most of them, as expected from the pandemic, belongs to the digital high-tech and IT sector. 2 startups belong to the nutraceutical and veterinary therapy. And 2 startups belong to the thematic sector of the biomedical, in vivo, in vitro, and in silico diagnostic. All those startups is a company in the very first stage of the development. Some of the startups that are settled in the Urban Center are already on the market with their product. And this is very atypical for a startup. So 1/3 of the startup are on market, 1/3 of the startup are in the validation phase of the development of their product, while 1/3 of the startups, more or less, are in the prototyping phase. So they are at different level of developmental stages. The Urban Center, so the municipality of Trieste, not only through the Urban Center, is not only providing a physical space where a startup can take advantage or can sit, but the idea is to promote the growth of the startups by providing services. So the 4 companies that manage the Urban Center provides startups for free with services. Of them, the Grant Office Observatory, the network for prototyping, for regulatory and clinical trials, and then the industrial networks. So the idea is to create a direct connection between the startups and different stakeholders. communication network. We support the startup when a startup is going to meet an investors and in the fundraising activities. This is probably the last slide, but probably this is the most interesting slide, because between the startups settled here in urban center, they were able not only to create connection between the 4 managing partners and the startups, but the startups created connection between each other. So there are startups that applied to a funding opportunity together. That are startups that provide services to other startups, and this is a way to create, to increase and to speed up their businesses. So thank you again for being here. I think that from your presentation will be very interesting to create new opportunities for the startups that are settled here.
Thank you, Marco. And then I will give the floor to René.
Here we are.
Thank you.
Well, again, good morning, everybody. In the next 10 minutes, my name is René. I'm the head of the Valorization and Innovation Office at SIS. And in the next 10 minutes, we are going to have a short presentation about the so-called knowledge transfer in our institution, as well as a brief description of the Scuola Internazionale Superiore di Studi Avanzati, which stands for SIS. Well, SIS in brief. SIS is an academia which was founded in 1978 and has the particularity to be the first institution in Italy to have introduced the title of PhD. It's focused on 3 main areas: physics, mathematics, and neuroscience. So it means art sciences. And another particularity is that at the beginning, but also now, but at the beginning in particular, the soul, the deep imprinting of the institution was that of basic research. As I said, is 100% focused on doctorate. It means that we do not have courses under the level of the PhD. And another particularity is that 35%, more than 1/3 of our students come from outside Italy. And the official language of exams and the courses, etc., is English. We are small, 300, less or more, 300 PhD students, 122 technical administrative staff, and 77 principal investigators. Which direct the scientific groups and the assistants, etc. So we can say that in terms of faculty and researchers, there is something like 200 less or more people. These that you are going to see are the 3 main areas. I've said mathematics, physics, and neuroscience translated into an horizon of impact generation. It means biotech and aging, big data and high performance computing, and last but not least, artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is the main output that is produced by our institution in terms of impact now. In this slide, you can see more in detail some of our groups. There are several. Those which are deeply oriented to industrial application, among those that you are seeing here are, without doubt, the MATLAB. So it means all the things concerning the digital twin, mathematical modeling, etc. Of course, the theoretical and scientific data science group, which means artificial intelligence and the management, the value extraction from big data, and all the area of neuroscience, neurobiology group, molecular, statistical and geophysics group, etc. Now, why do we do that? Why the CIS has established something like 8 years ago a technology transfer office, or as we call it now, because it's always a matter of fashion when we speak about valorization and innovation office. Well, because our employer, which is the ministry, first of all, and then the other institution which are funding us, so the European Commission through the Horizon 2020 before, and now Horizon Europe, etc., are asking us not only the classical missions, so teaching, training, research, publications, but also to create an impact to the people, to the taxpayer, because yes, it's nice to have a fantastic publication. It's nice to form and to train high-level people, but it's even better if we create, for example, jobs, opportunities, and we call that another very popular and fashionable word now in general, I think also in Austria, here in Italy, of course, impact. Well, so that's why our office exists. How do we do that? Well, connecting dots. 1 year ago, Leo Capari, that you know very well, which is a colleague of Matthias, and I can say somebody who does the same job as Barbara or Marco, write to us an email. Well, hi, how are you doing? We have seen that you are a leading institution. Why do not do a call and know each other, etc.? Well, from that moment, then a couple of calls, a little presentation. From that presentation, I had the pleasure to meet Matthias and Asib and all the opportunities that Asib represent, and today we are here. So this is to say what we mean when using the wording connecting dots. Here are better described internal competencies, internal technologies, external unmet needs. This is the ecosystem in which we are a part, a small part of that, connecting dots we have built, and we are trying with the help of, as the song of Joe Cocker, our friends, exactly, in general, to consolidate and enlarge it you can see in this slide institutional partners, of course, a region, incubators, of course, the urban center, and so on. Investors, as Bio for Dreams, but many others as well. And from my personal and companies, because the companies are those who the innovation, who make the innovation. Because as a scientific centers, we can give, we do inventions, but we create competencies, we can discover technologies, but all that to be called innovation has to be brought to the market. So everybody can take advantage of it, can buy it. If not, and everybody has his job. For this, our main orientation is focused on transfer and listening to the unmet needs coming, innovation unmet needs coming from companies, and then try to give to these unmet needs an answer, scouting within our scientific groups, our people, our technologies. And on your right, on my right, I think also on your right, you are going to see the part that we are very proud, because those are the startup that we formed, CISA has formed in the last 8 years. So the proof of concept that knowledge transfer is possible, even in Italy. Well, even in Italy, exactly. And they are real, they are concrete, they are, for example, last year, Aindo raised something like 3 million euro. And the other one, Transign Therapeutics, last year raised at the second round of funding 9 million euro. Of course, these are not confidential information or public, so I can say it. What does it mean? Jobs, economy, and well, all these nice things that we need. If you are interested in reaching more information about our office, here you can have a screenshot of our web page. These are the classical parts of, and I won't annoy, I won't make you bored describing each one of these, because, well, IP protection, internal scouting, talent valorization, etc. For this reason, I'll go to the figures before reaching the couple of slides, maybe from my point of view, more significant. Well, some figures, well, we are small, we have said 200 less or more scientific staff, 300 PhD students. We are not speaking about Politecnico or University of Wien, etc. So also the numbers, but for a so small reality, okay, we have 14 international patents, 9 of them are commercialized, but for a so small institution that was born completely oriented in, completely focused on the basic research, the effect of signing 600,000 euro in contract research last year, it's a good result. And well, 8 startup founded, etc. This slide is the most important. If I have a couple of minutes, can I? Okay. The most important thing is not to be boring. And also in the pitch, somebody says to be fashionable, sexy, but it's not my matter. I want only not to be boring. Well, why, thanks for the time, why this is the most important slide of all my presentation? Because I've been working in the knowledge transfer field, for almost 20 years in public and private bodies. Well, and according to my experience, the most important thing is inside here. And in the fact that you have to work with young people, in our case, in my case now, with PhD students, to try to transform their potential into something real, into value. So, and approach and entrepreneurial mindset in this is absolutely fundamental. The main objective of my office within CIS, of course, is to manage the patent portfolio and the 14 patents that we have and the 9 license agreement that we have, etc. Of course, is to make the closing of the contract research and to present all the technology that we have here. In front of me, there is Audrey, and we have been working also with Marco in the last 9 months to license, to sell an important technology from our point of view. Of course, this is important. But the most important thing is to try to say to the young guys and ladies that are studying now, well, in 2023, it's very important to have all the opportunities and not miss one of them and see all the opportunities that you have. So your Weltanschauung has to be really wide. Yesterday, to be concrete, because if not, it's all blah, blah, blah. No, yesterday, just yesterday afternoon, we were in Trevignano Udinese. Trevignano Udinese is a village of 2,000 people, 50 kilometers from Trieste. In Italian, I call it Friuli Profondo. You have a lot of countryside and, well, in this Trevignano Udinese is established a company, 4 co-founders and 5 collaborators, which do make setups for research experiments. And they export 70% of their setups outside Italy, including United States, China, etc. Through the project PhD for Innovation, that started 3 months ago, we bought 7 young researchers, PhD students, 3 of physics and 4 of the neuroscience area, in Trevignano Udinese from Trieste, because in the last 3 months they said, because we had proposed this, well, in the next 3 months, why don't you dedicate 10% of your time to have a challenge and to put yourself in discussion, trying to solve a problem coming, a concrete, a real, a punctual problem coming from a company in your field. And they said, yes, why not? They are smart because they know, because we say to them, be careful, 90% of your employers will be private companies. So at the age of 25, 26 years old, maybe it's smart that you get in touch with your potential employer. Well, the result is that they developed this idea during 3 months. They get in touch with the company, and they learned that they have learned something new that they haven't experienced before. And the result was very interesting. Well, this is an effort only to translate what you are seeing there. Try to spread a little bit of entrepreneurial mindset. In Italian, we say in senso lato. It means not only do the business, be successful, but try to to transfer in value your competencies, looking 360 degrees around you. So do not miss opportunities. It's very challenging to do that. A lot of work, sometimes a small success, but maybe, well, I think with my colleagues in my office that it's worthy to do that, also because we are paid to do that. So be professional first of all, and then if you believe in what you do, it's even better. Thank you so much for your time.
Really, thanks, René. It's every time a pleasure to hear the presentation, and also the energy you put in transmission importance of innovation, not only in science, because this is the idea of being challenged, not only also the most of the PhD in CISA are really smart people, and accept to be challenged in something new that is, yes, it's a problem of physics, but it's a real problem of a company. And the solution cannot be 10 million sensor that you will apply once and never again. So you have to find a solution that can go to the market. So a real solution to a problem. So thank you very much. And now our really welcome guest. And so thank you very much, Matthias. It's your turn.
I have the big honor to give the last lecture, so I hope it is okay for you to speak a little bit about ASIP, the Austrian Center of Industrial Biotechnology. Yes, I'm at ASIP. My job is I'm business developer and innovation manager, especially for the field of open innovation. Today I want to present some slides to 4 topics. I would like to introduce ASIP and our network, to tell in what fields of research we're active in and which are our solutions for academia and industry. And I also want to speak a little bit about biotechnology, biotech startups in Austria. We are a private company, but our owners are 5 Austrian public universities, and the major stakeholders are the Technical University Graz and the University for Agriculture in Vienna. We are established as a limited company, and this gives us the opportunity to transfer IP rights to our clients, because at least in Austria, public universities are not allowed to do IP transfer. They only can do licensing. But if industry, if companies pay for research projects, they usually also want the IP rights. And that's the Austrian way to solve such a problem, is that universities make a daughter company, and the daughter company is allowed to do what the mother does not is not allowed to. ASIP is existing since the middle of the 1990s and changed the name several times. with mergers of different research centers. And since 2010, our company name is ASIP. And our mission is we have a strong scientific background. We have a lot of experience with industrial projects, and we try to fill the gap in between academic research and company. It is sometimes necessary when academic researchers speak with company owners, with managers, that there is a kind of interpreter in between, because they speak different languages, and that's what we at ASIP try to do. We are around 200 researchers in our team, and we work very close with universities. We have many years of experience with industry and multi-firm projects and a huge network. Our locations are in Tulln, that's near Vienna at the Danube River, external institute of the University for Agriculture, in Vienna, in Graz, and also in Innsbruck. Innsbruck, in the mountain region of Austria, is for us the entrance gate to the biotech market around Munich. That is a very big biotech area this moment. Well, again, a slide with some company names representing companies we already carried out projects with, or we are just at this moment running projects. And our fields of research are all connected somehow with enzymes. So our main fields of expertise is biocatalysis, the use of enzymes, enzyme technology, development of new enzymes or new enzymatic pathways. Of course, we are active in microbiology, in biochemistry, and we have a lot of experience in protein engineering, but also in cell line development, in working with mammalian cells. Of course, we also use mathematical methods, as you mentioned, with simulation and bioinformatics. And we are in the traditional field of biotechnology, in the bioprocess development. For my own, I'm in the Institute for Environmental Biotechnology that is located in Tulln, where we are looking for new ways to valorize waste. So products that are called waste from other people, for us, it's the valuable raw materials. We are permanently active in EU projects. On one hand side, as researchers, mainly in the field of enzyme technology and development of new enzymes, but also in communication and dissemination. So why did I come to Trieste today? Here a picture of the what's the name of the place?
Piazza Unità. The concert yesterday in Piazza Unità.
So yesterday evening there was a concert. Today at 6:30 in the morning there was still the stage standing there. Well, our headquarters is in Graz, and the distance Graz-Trieste, it's quite short. And we are both active in the Alpine Adriatic region. And at least ASIP is always interested into extension of our network. And we, especially for the research group in Tulln, we have a long tradition in exchange of people in between Italy and Austria. Our normal work, our core business is to do contract research in the B2B area, and we are also able to co-fund projects by the COMET system. That's an Austrian funding system where ARZIP is the company who gives the funding, and we are able to fund research projects with around 50% of funding. And of course, we are always interested into new partners for Horizon Europe projects, for European Community projects. But today, I also wanted to speak a little bit about our new program, the BREED program, because that's the connection to Bio for Dreams and to CISA. In the last 30 years, there have been 17 startups that came from research groups from ARZIP to the market. And we found out by learning by doing that it is very, very difficult for scientists to change their mindset from science to the startup world. And in the last 20 years, we tried to help our scientists just practically by offering our infrastructure to them to help them with our people for accounting and HR and business development. But for the future, for the next funding period of ARZIP that will start in the 1st of January 24, we will start our BREED fertilizer program. In this program, there are wonderful help for people who make startups as soon as the startup exists, as soon as they go to the Chamber of Commerce and sign in as a new company. From this moment, there's in Austria, even in Austria, good help with incubators, with accelerators, with information. But there is very little support from the moment the idea is born until they decide to make a real company and they go to the lawyer and make the limited company. There is a empty space, and we want to fill in this empty space with our BREED program. It is a program for scientists in the idea phase, and embedded in our COMET system, we have some venture capital companies as partners. We have some experts as partners to help startups to help scientists in the first step before they really make the startup. This will be scouted and administrated from ARZIP by a business development team, and we are 4 colleagues working there, and we provide a platform with venture capital companies who are COMET partners, and we also help to prepare our scientists for the first meeting with venture capital companies to avoid first mistakes. So when we see company comes and offers some money for 60% of the company shares, we tell them, stop at this moment, please speak first to us not to sell you under your value. And the special thing is we offer a spin-in program. That means that scientists who want to make startups are employed from ARZIP from in between 6 to 24 months. So they are employed, they have the job, they have the salary, and then they can focus on the startup formation without the pressure to pay the rent at home or to pay the food for the family. That's the program how we want to help our scientists. Why do we do this? because we hope that in future, when the startup is successful, to be partner from them, to get contract research jobs from them back. And in the past, this idea turned out to be very good. Well, coming to an end, I just want to advertise our ASIP. That's a big conference where usually around 600 to 700 scientists from the biotech field participate. It will be in November 24 in Graz, and hopefully we will have also our friends from Bio for Dreams to give a lecture there, because I have a session there concerning startups. And well, some information about biotechnology in Austria. We have present around 20 academic institutions where you can study biotechnology or related subjects. Very traditional at the University of Agriculture and the Technical University Vienna. There has been biotechnology as a subject, but in the last 20 years, a lot of new, we call it Fachhochschulen, universities of applied science, turned on in the scenery. On the other hand, we have some big industry in the field of biotechnology, like Boehringer Ingelheim, Merck Sharp and Dohme, Takeda Pharma, Sandoz, Agrana in the Austrian market. And we have this moment around 1,000 biotech companies enlisted in Austria, with around 60,000 employees and a turnover of 25 billion euros. And we counted around 24,000 scientists in the biotech field in Austria. Even when startups and making startups is not the very traditional in Austria, there is some support, and AZIP, of course, helps with getting funding. I just would like to mention the Austrian Business Agency and the FFG, the Forschungsförderungsgesellschaft, who give funding, and the AWS, the Austrian Wirtschaftsservice, and the Chamber of Commerce. And funding gets a little bit difficult in Austria because we have 5 federal states with 5 independent business agencies providing 9 federal states, 9 business agencies, and providing 9 different funding systems. So it is important in which of the federal states you will locate your startup. When you look to Austrian startups in the field of biotechnology, the majority is in the field of the red biotechnology. So 68% are in the field of biomedicine, and smaller percentages is in the field of information technology, industrial biotechnology, or consulting. The advantage of Austria as a business location is probably that Austria has a very strong, developed, and traditional academic system. The disadvantage is that in Austria at this moment, there is not a lot of startup mindset. So we are just creating it. But I would like to finish my presentation just with a best practice example with a startup that came out of AZIP 2 years ago, AgroBioGel. And this startup uses a waste product from the paper industry, lignin, and uses enzymes to cross-link lignin to make a hydrogel out of it. And the very first idea was a hydrogel for wound dressing, so that absorbs water from wounds, so to be active in the biomedical area. The problem is the product has the color black, and nobody voluntarily takes a black product on open wounds, even if it's sterile and safe, but there is a psychological problem. And at this stage, they came to me and I looked on the product and said, black, what else is black? Soil is black. And so we started with experiments on my own balcony and on the balcony of the researcher with tomato plants to mix the hydrogel with the soil. And we found out that it stores the water in a perfect way, and you do not need to water your plants on the balcony every day because it stores the water so fine. So we started with from the balcony to a professional experiments in the glasshouse, and we developed a product that is mixed with soil to store water, and I was able to go the way from the first lab experiments producing some milligrams, the typical size of for biotech people. We think in milliliters and in milligrams, to the first ton of product in the pilot plant. And it is already available on the market for, well, in Austria, it's called Bella Flora, so a garden center chain. You can buy this product today. So that's a success story we like to tell about a product that started in the BioTech lab. Well, yes, I come to the end. Thank you very much for your attention. And well, for me, it is great to be here. It is great to see people that we met some months ago the first time on video conference, now in real life. And I'm looking forward to maybe to have a real joint project in future. Thank you.
So really, thank you very much, Matthias. It was a very interesting. The final example is one of the most typical of pivoting an idea. Black on skin, it doesn't work. Black on soil could work. And
yes, before this product was developed, the same scientist developed a test that when you have a wound and the wound is healing, there are some it's difficult for me because I don't understand a lot of medicine, but there are some enzymes that are excreted, and when there is the danger of an inflammatory, these proteins are trace proteins, and he developed a method to detect them. So his mind was wound dressing and inflammatory disease and medicine. Well, and as I started at the University for Agriculture, my mind was more, and I worked in an agrotech company for 15 years as plant manager. My mindset was go to the agriculture.
And this is an example of the importance of contamination.
Yeah.
Because only sharing idea, knowledge, opportunity can help to go to a successful story. So this is very interesting. Also, thanks for the invitation. That we will be very happy to come to Graz. And once again, to CISA, that we know and we collaborate in different ways with Bio4Dreams and Urban Center. But really, I think such entities, research centers as yours, is a very good example, high example of what a research center with the main objective of do training and research can help to promote innovation in an open way, so open innovation. And I think the first thing is have the mindset because otherwise a researcher, a person cannot be an entrepreneur, but also to have the opportunity to become. So from the beginning, like BREED program with a TT office of the new and more fancy way of naming a TT office, technology transfer. So we need to take to transfer. I like the word transfer in more, maybe more than valorization, because it's somehow an development of an idea go through the innovation path. So it's also the mindset of the research center to promote innovation, and not only the basic research. That is, I think it's something that we should promote and we should continue to do, but not only, because otherwise, as a normal people, we will not have a solution and solve our problem. So,
Barbara, if I can, maybe she likes the term transfer because it's also applicable to the psychological world. And as you, Matthias, I think, but we have already spoken on it, you know very well, exactly, before you were saying the language is different, the way to intend the things are different. So transfer is also a way to say, scientist, there's also the real concrete world. So why don't you try to think about the application that you can have from your studies, from your publication, etc., to create. So transfer, I'll take this transfer. Thanks, Barbara.
So thank you very much. Also, Marco would like to add something.
Yeah, thank you again for the presentation. And I want to highlight 2 points that from my side are key in now. The first is the focus on ASIB centers, so sustainability and green tech. So you have a lot of experience then. So I invite all the startups who are dealing with this topic to go to the ASIB website to go deeper into the knowledge of what the services that they can provide.
I think our core business is to work with enzymes, is enzyme technology, to use enzymes for technical applications, for example, in the field of green tech, but also for the field of agrotech or for medicine as well. But here is the point: we are no medical doctors, we are engineers and we are life scientists. I just would like to mention, of course, I'm very happy if there are some questions, but I just do not want to speak too long, because maybe you also want to go to the beach or to the ice cream.
Yeah, no, but that's why I invite the startups and also myself to analyze in deeper detail what ASIB actually does. Yeah. And the second point, I really want to highlight the approach you have towards innovation that is really close to what we try to do here. So supporting researcher to the business with their startups. So again, thank you for being here. And we will...
and we hope is the
first starting point
for the collaboration between not only Bio for Dreams, SISSA, ASIB, Urban Center, to build this ecosystem.
I think it is also a great thing from the city of Trieste to establish and to support Urban Center. That's not logical, or that's not possible everywhere. And I think that's a very good idea.
So thank you very much again, and see you soon here in Urban Center.